Hi there, my crafty friends. This is a Christmas wreath that I created for a very special friend of mine as a gift for Christmas. I wanted to share with you how I made it because it's actually pretty easy, as most of the things I've used are ready made. It's also easy on the pocket because you could always use items you already have at home. I'm using a ready-made wreath that's made of twigs that are painted metallic gold. I bought this from Kmart in Australia and it was $10. There are many other styles that you could use too. I'm also going to use some ready-made decorations. I have this glitter poinsettia flower and some pine cones that are in different shades of gold and green. I have all these other little items. I normally buy these Christmas decorations after the Christmas season. They normally go into a bargain bin and they're even more affordable. I buy whatever I think is appealing and that can be used in a craft. I also have some ribbons and sequins. A little tip for this specific wreath, the ribbon I'm going to use has got a wire edging which allows you to structure it and shape it into a good shape. So if you can find a ribbon that's got a fine wire edging, do purchase that. They're not expensive, they're normally the same price as your regular ribbons. You'll see now what I mean. I gather all my supplies and I'm not going to obviously use everything I have, but I bring everything together because I'm not quite sure yet what the plan is. I'll just see where it takes me. I'll start with the base, which is going to be this ribbon. I'm using an olive green, and as you can see, this is the ribbon I was talking about that has a wire on either edge of it, and it makes beautiful bows. You can structure it and actually shape it, and it holds a beautiful shape. Look at that. If you can find this, do yourself a favor and purchase it. It really works well. I've made two bows, one bigger than the other, and I'm going to cross them in the middle at different angles to be quite full underneath the poinsettia. This will be sort of underneath the poinsettia flower, and I want it quite full so there's no gaps around the flower. The flower's got a clip that I've just removed because it's just too chunky to fit, and I'll position everything and just see how it looks. I'm going to add some leaves. I like the contrast and it'll help the glitter components shine a little bit more and be more of the focal point. Now, as I say with most of my projects, there's no right and wrong. And with this one, I can't always say to you, put this on the left, put this on the right, place this at 2 centimeters away from this. It's difficult to say that because the items you will have for your wreath are very different to what I have. It's whatever you can find, but you'll make it work for yourself. It's just all about balancing the components and your colors and creating contrast and to make it something that's appealing to you. I love these little pine cones that I found, the little glitter pine cones, and there's a beautiful green which really looks really beautiful with the gold. And then I have these little baubles. I'm going to use the glitter bauble and the plain shiny bauble. It's more of a rose gold, but that doesn't matter. We've got different tones of gold, different tones of green. Not everything has to be matchy. I really like this little nutcracker toy. It's actually a Christmas tree decoration that I found, and I was hoping to put him somewhere because I've had him for a couple of years. I haven't used him, but he didn't suit this wreath either. We'll find a place for him one day. I have most of my components ready, so I'm going to start gluing down and positioning the main bits, and then I'll add the additional trims once everything is glued down. I'm using a hot glue. I think that's the best option for this kind of project because you want something that's quite thick because it sometimes has to go through all the layers of the twig and you have some heavy items, and I do think that a hot glue gun will work the best. I try to balance it by using similar or the same items on either side of the focal point. Although I haven't stuck the main focal point down yet, I do keep putting it back in position when I add new elements just to check that everything is still working together. Can I just say again that I really love this wire-edged ribbon. It just does what you want it to do and it fills the gaps beautifully. I'm using additional bits for underneath my pine cones. I'm not doing bows again because that'll be too much. I've taken one piece, I've folded it in half and twisted it up. So it has one loop of a bow and the two tails, as you can see, and then I just twist the bottom and leave the tails hanging off the wreath. You don't want everything in line with the wreath, you want it to hang off a little bit to create more interest. The design is going to taper off away from the focal point, so I'm adding less and less as I go to the left and as I go up. And I use repeat elements so that it's all cohesive. At this point in time, I'm thinking a splash of red will work really well. I have a longer, like a berry, glittered berry element that I'm going to add to the right, and then a red bauble at the bottom. Not too much, just a small splash of color. If you saw there, I cut the little spout off the bauble so that it can lay flat. These are just plastic, so I just used actually a wire cutter and it just came off really easily. It's left a hole, but we'll put that underneath and nobody will see that. Do be careful if you're using items that are made of polystyrene. With the hot glue gun and the polystyrene, it will melt it. So you either have to work really fast and only apply a little bit of glue or use a different kind of glue if your items are polystyrene. Do add quite a bit of glue. No one is going to see it. It doesn't really ooze because the elements are so big. Do use quite a bit so it's sturdy. I was going to leave the ribbon tail up, but it looks better if I tuck it in. I just looped it, tucked it in and glued it underneath the rest of the components. I'm now sticking down the little mini baubles. I've got the glitter ones and the plain gold, and I'm just seeing where it suits it. I don't quite know yet, so I just try and place it, and then when I'm happy with the position, I apply the glue. I have these white berries from a Christmas stem. I've used other elements of it in other projects, but I always go back to these berries. I think they're really cute. I'm just going to add them also randomly, just as a touch of white, a lighter color in the whole wreath. Crafty friends, I do hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you were inspired to maybe create your own wreath or your own Christmas decorations for your home. I would really love it if you subscribed to my channel and hit the little bell button so you get notified every time I upload new content. There's lots of new videos coming soon. Remember, use what you have, don't spend a fortune, buy things from the bargain bin and keep it for the following year. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.